Juno. My cousins love this movie. Loved this movie. Fucking Juno.
No, I was thinking I'd just nip it in the bud.
And me being younger, I took this movie so serious.
They were talking about in health class how pregnancy.
Oh, off rip mansion talk. Now I'm doing these videos so quickly, and I'm literally easing these non-lagging and beautiful back turn up videos back in there, man. We finna get into this Michael Cera video, man. GQ Michael Cera breaks down his most iconic characters. That's really, you can get hella slow. That's what you gotta know. We finna get into this video. Let's go. The way he looked, the way he sound, Michael Cera, Jesse Eisenberg, these are white boys that are way out of your typical white boy constraints based on look, appearance, mannerisms, voice, what have you.
The call, checking on my availability for it.
He is one of those.
And he called me and he said, I got a call about this movie. It's the Barbie movie.
And he sounds the exact same. I did not want to look at this though because he is in that new Barbie movie and I have not seen it.
Greta Gerwig's directing it, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are starring in it, and it's filming in London for 4 months or something. So I told them you probably wouldn't want to do it because you probably don't want to go to London. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Call them back.
Best believe y'all going out bad. That's what you gotta know.
Imaginary number. It doesn't really exist. If I equals...
I knew they was gonna get into super bad off rip. How could you not?
Sort of this like long audition process. I felt I had to keep proving myself. I mean, nobody. They were kind of. It was kind of, I guess, felt like it was going in a good direction. That they kept bringing me back. But actually, the way I found out I got the part was from Jonah. One day I got a voicemail from Jonah saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this movie together. So we have to hang out." Judd says we have to hang out, and that was really how I found out I got the movie and that Jonah was gonna be in it. And I was so excited that it was gonna be him because he hadn't sort of occurred to me as someone who could play that part. But when I found out it was gonna be him, I really felt like it was gonna be a great movie because I had done a couple table reads with Jonah actually for other projects, and Jonah was just always like astoundingly great at them. And he would be one of those guys sometimes that they would throw a couple parts at, like you do a handful of parts. Every single thing that they threw at him, he would like make, so interesting and so much more interesting than it was. It would just be a very flat thing, and he would bring so much character to it. So I knew how great he was and was very excited to get to do that movie with him.
I should buy Becca alcohol? Yeah, and we pimp. That way she'll be drunk. You know when you hear a girl saying like, "Oh, I was so shit-faced last night."
Character to it, so I knew how great he was and was very excited to get to do that movie with him.
Please believe me when I say you all said. That's what you gotta know.
That way she'll be drunk. You know when you hear a girl saying like, "Oh, I was so shit-faced last night. I shouldn't have fucked that guy." We could be that mistake.
Jonah and I are friends to this day, and I think we just are naturally friends.
It's up to you, Fogel. This guy's either going to think here's another kid with a fake ID, or here's McLovin, the 25-year-old Hawaiian organ donor.
Bruh, you niggas go out terrible, and we all see it too. Like, oh my god.
No, you're not. No one's McLovin. McLovin's never existed.
How do you like openly like going out? Gosh.
When we made the movie,
you niggas is a bunch of Fogels
to make, and so it didn't feel like a small movie to me. I mean, it already felt like the biggest thing that had ever happened to me, just getting the job and getting to make it. So it kind of felt to me like a bit of a given that it would be a big movie, or else it would have been a big failure. It was so popular, and I was so recognizable suddenly, and so were all of us. And it's a strange adjustment to make, but it was kind of
know what we own
together. And we sort of just had our heads down, and we're going on this like giant press tour, and it all just felt like this big, tumble dry cycle of craziness. It's helpful to go through it together and figure it out as we went.
Niggas go out sad. That's what you gotta know.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Could not be me though. I could not go out as sad as you niggas go. Never. I would have been done off to myself before I go out like you niggas.
Can't wait to hear when it's finished.
I was such a fan of Edgar's.
Oh, what do you mean?
Spaced and Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Well, Edgar actually had visited the set of Arrested Development and was friends with David and Jason and Will.
Something really got to be wrong with you to want to publicly go out sad.
When Edgar reached out, when I was even just in contact with him, I was really excited because I was a big fan. It was exciting to me. It was sort of like too good to be true because I also loved the graphic novels. Just felt like fortunate to be the right age, the right time. Yeah, it was a lucky thing.
And then he got a real like light ass beard and mustache. And he got a light ass smooth beard and mustache.
It was so much fun. It was a long shoot, I think. I mean, for me in particular, because other people kind of came and went, you know. But I was there for I think 9 months or something, which is like an enormous amount of time to work on something. But it was so much fun all the time because we just had the greatest vibe with everybody. I think that basically trickled down from Edgar and the energy that he was creating. We all got to rehearse together.
There you go, Gone, aka Astro Boy.
Before we even started making the movie. By the end of the movie, I felt like this is my world. This is my group of friends. It kind of feels like, oh, this is always going to be this way. And honestly, I kind of was a little depressed when we were done because it all just goes away, and you're like, where did everybody go? You know, so you kind of get used to that as you get older and as you're acting for a while. But I was sad to lose it. I could have kept making that forever, even though it was exhausting.
Movie was hard though. I gotta say that before they skip off it real quick. I could not be you,
We were kind of doing like endurance training more than anything, more than like bodybuilding or something, and like fight training, you know, choreography, which is just so unnatural to me.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes
sorry. I could not be you.
I got hurt, you know, like I just even like blocking a kick, you know, trying to block over and over and find the right like point in space to put your hand. And one time I just went too low and received the full blow of this guy's kick. One of the stuntmen who was just kicking at a point in air, and it's an insane feeling. You can't believe it's happening in your hand. Like you didn't know that you had these muscles in your hand. Now they're throbbing for like a week.
Wanting to go
like
out
a train
as sad
hit me
as
in the
y'all
hand,
do
you know?
is insane.
It's very weird.
Like y'all go out like people actually look at y'all like a certain type of way and you don't even know it.
The thing is that the year before Arrested Development, I had done a sitcom that never aired called The Grubs. It was a Fox multicam sitcom starring Randy Quaid and Carol Kane. You know, it never aired. They
don't know nothing about
shot
this,
8 episodes of it. It was maybe sort of formulaic, like dysfunctional family sitcom. It was really funny. It was written by really funny writers, but it was sort of situational, and I was playing sort of a stock, teenage part maybe. And then when I got the role in Arrested Development and had this whole storyline that was really insane of being secretly in love with my first cousin.
Look young
go to my mom tonight and be like, I met the cutest guy, and then she'll see you and me totally making out. But not really, right?
I just remember being really grateful as a kid to have such a strange storyline in a show as a kid, because I feel like teenage roles in TV shows are sort of stock, and you don't get too much to sink your teeth into other than being precocious or being whatever. So I was excited about that, and saw a lot of humor in it, and you know, I just thought it was always really so funnily handled that Jason David
can still go out terrible. That's the thematics of this whole evening.
Stay on top of her, buddy. Do not be afraid to ride her hard.
I was just so excited to be a part of such a great troupe of actors too, and be around these people all the time was the greatest thing.
Do you know the last time that
Do you know how bad you niggas go out?
I'll tell you when. No, don't. See, nothing has ever been easy for us. I mean, the only reason she went out with me was to piss off her boyfriend. The only reason she ever married me was to piss off her mother. And then, of course, we couldn't conceive. So there was that famous ordeal.
What do you mean you couldn't conceive? Was maybe adopted? Is she not really related to me? Is she just some girl I know?
And I've never seen the show, but I have wanted to see it.
I was really excited when they started writing.
But you, guess what?
Sort of these
you
side
niggas are out sad.
Myself and David Cross, like having one-on-one scenes together, because I loved David and I worshipped David actually before ever getting to meet him.
And I'm so glad I could relish and sink my teeth into the facts of that with y'all.
There was the Tom Green show.
Oh my gosh.
Slotted as an hour, and me and my friend watched it.
It is such a wonderful feeling.
So when I heard David was potentially going to be in the pilot, I was like incredibly excited. And then they started writing scenes with David and I when he becomes kind of my roommate. We're like sharing the bunk bed at some point in one of the earlier seasons, and those were always so much fun to film. Really hard for me to keep it together.
Goodness. I have to wear it all the time. You'd never understand.
Oh please, I'll never understand that you can never be nude.
You niggas have been clowned in a multitude of ways and don't even know it. Like so.
I understand more than you'll.
Like so.
Never know.
Like so.
Yeah, it was completely intimidating. They were completely encouraging and supportive with me and Alia, my cousin on the show, who, you know, we were the two children on the show, and it's like, it just is intimidating because they're all operating on this insanely high level of intellect and humor, and they're so fast and they're so brilliant. But even though it was intimidating, I feel like we just benefited enormously by getting to be around it and soak them up and be part of it.
Come in close. Come in a little close. See, I don't even want to know nothing about the movie. I don't want to know nothing about the Barbie movie.
My availability for it, and he called me and he said, I got a call about this movie. It's the Barbie movie. Greta Gerwig.
Just turned that shit.
Filming in London.
But you guess what? You niggas are still out terribly.
Do it because you probably don't want to go to wanted, and I was like, what? You mean?
Talking about getting exposed again and again. Like,
he's like, I managed their expectations that you might not want to do it. And I was like, how can I not do it? It's like, I need to do it. So I somehow got Greta's email address, I think through a common friend of ours, and I emailed her. I was like,
oh, thank you, God and Jesus. Thank you, God and Jesus.
Like,
I'm so glad I always find out. Thank you, God and Jesus. Thank you.
Hour. She was just hanging out on the Zoom. She's like, just click that link whenever you're ready. And then we talked about it, and it just all happened really fast from there.
Hi, Barbie.
Oh, hi, Alan.
There are no multiples of Alan. He's just Alan.
Yeah, confused about it. I mean, Alan is a sad, figure. He's just a person that just doesn't really have any place in the world. Alan is actually based on a real doll that enjoyed a very short production run, I think, in like the year 1967. It just wasn't selling. I think the world just didn't need for Ken to have a friend, like to supplement that.
And I'm gonna do something crazy after this.
Barbie is good. Get a lot more Barbies in here.
I'm gonna pitch y'all something crazy.
And we don't need to go deeper in that direction.
He married?
He can hold it down.
See, it rained.
So Alan kind of, fell by the wayside.
But beyond that, guess what?
Honestly, there's been so
you go out terrible. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I think it's just
you go out horrendous.
Maybe there's just something in the world right now that people are ready for a Barbie movie. It feels like just the right time to have a Barbie movie. I mean, even on the set, everything was very infectious. Everybody was wearing pink.
And don't even know how folks is really talking about you. Like
it was a good spirit right from the start.
Juno, my cousins love this movie.
What should we do?
Loved this movie. Fucking Juno.
I was thinking I'd just nip it in the bud.
And me being younger, I took this movie so serious.
They were talking about in health class how pregnancy can often lead to an infant.
Typically, yeah, that's what happens when.
And they ended up keeping that stupid.
When I read the script,
I don't give a fuck. They ended up keeping that
grabs you is the rhythm.
You need to go out terrible.
So you're cool with that then?
Yeah, Wizard. I mean, just. I guess do whatever you think you should do, It's very distinct in its voice, which I think Diablo Cody has kind of made her.
Diablo Cody.
But I don't think anybody knew.
That's a crazy name.
That script came out of nowhere, and she just kind of wrote it in like a sandwich shop or something, and really carved this voice, out of nothing. And I think actually she had a blog that she was kind of a little famous for.
Oh, so this is where he got his main, real jump start.
Yeah, reading it for the first time, that's just the thing that really.
But guess what?
The voice.
You need to go out terrible.
I think I'm in love with you.
That's what you gotta know.
You meet his friends?
Like you meet his friends?
For real. Because you're like the coolest person I've ever met. And you don't even have to try.
I try really hard, actually. I remember when
Stupid ass.
There was some, promotional effort that involved a bunch of guys dressed in those track suits.
The track fit.
Outfit and running around Hollywood in a cluster, which was just, kind of funny.
I wouldn't even play his character just because of the position he in. I'm so against that shit. I was thinking, I was like, no.
The most drew me to it was Pete Solid, who directed
Kat Dennings. I wanted to look at this just because Kat was in this
movie, Raising Victor Vargas. It was stunningly great, that movie, and just wanted to do it with him. And then there was an amazing script by Lorene Scafaria, who had adapted it from a book, but did this great job with the script. So it just felt like it was going to be good.
So that's it, Tris. That's the breakup mix. 10 songs from my broken.
That's not even real.
Best believe you niggas go outside.
Can we go straight to
what you gotta know.
I have to pee.
It was a month or longer of night shoots, which is, strange biological experience. Sleeping with the sun up and garbage trucks going by and life outside your window and not sleeping very well. But I was, I think, 19 when I made that movie and having the greatest time. Because we would wrap it 6 a.m. and then we would go get soup at Veselka or go, hang out. Honestly, it's probably the reason I live in New York today, because I really fell in love with the city and the feeling of just wandering through it and how alive it is and how generous it is as far as a texture of life. There's just always something of interest happening all over the place. And sometimes you have to guard yourself against it. It can be a lot, but I was just so drawn to it.
I got this. Hey. What's up, friend? How you doing?
I was just gonna go in there.
You walked right in here, didn't you, little bird?
I didn't mean to, I'm sorry.
You like a little canary and skinny jeans, huh?
Well, I was gonna go in there just to look for my friend.
You got friends right here. Me and Switzerland are here for you, baby. Hey, thanks for coming by. Let me ask you a question. You ever hook up with a dog?
But no. A dog, like a pet? No.
I don't. It's not worth it. I like you so much.
I'm running away. With that era,
I'm running away.
a studio independent movie.
Wachovia.
Almost where
Wachovia. I ain't seen a Wachovia in I don't know how long.
Studios, and they cost a lot of money. But they sort of like are labeled independent. They're sort of a flavor, like a lane.
Go out terrible.
A genre or something. It seems like it's gone. I mean, it seems like it's an era that where those like that model doesn't work anymore. At like where movies being made at that level or at that budget that aren't superhero movies or something that will be guaranteed to have an audience. It just seems like a sort of relic of that time. I'm not sure if it'll come back, but like a $10 million movie or something, which used to be kind of normal to get made, and now I don't think they're being made anymore.
Best believe you can just go outside.
Like a very small movie that we can go make like with this crew, or
best believe you can just go outside. That's what you gotta know. This is the end. I thought they were saying it was over.
Hey, does this Coke smell funny?
Does this Coke smell funny? Wait, but they had brought back all like this was like every raunchy movie combined in this. It was too many celebrities in this movie.
I've never fucking done cocaine, dude. What is the fucking?
Well, you did the best shit possible for your first time, because that's good.
I'm not sure whose idea it was. I guess it was Seth and Evan. And the thing that like was hugely beneficial for me on that movie was that I kind of came in late. They had been shooting, and they'd been shooting that house party sequence in particular for at least like a week or so before I got in. I kind of had to come in late because I was just finishing another job. So when I got there, they like filled me in on what everybody had been saying about me. They had all been kind of describing me, creating a character really for me to like step into
and embody.
And so they told me all of that, which was hilarious. And then it was really just like
you
all
go outside. That's what you got to know.
Live up to what they're saying. I have to be weird. so that was
Rihanna. Fucking what's his nigga name? What? And that jump was real too. I'm not gonna lie.
Weird. So that was,
A$AP Rocky killed this nigga right now. Jason Segel. She slapped him so hard she slapped the name into me. Jason Segel is the
so that was
Hey, best believe you can go outside. That's what you gotta know. Really do you like this?
Fuck up, Jason. We're playing a game, man.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely hit me. Yeah, but I wanted that. I mean, I think it's a lot funnier and a lot more convincing.
But
I mean, a fake slap.
I do like that though.
So she hit me hard. I mean,
love the
she really sent me flying, and it was great. And now it's
wait, I think I still kind of see stupid
pain that experienced. Twin Peaks.
I ain't at my full peak.
Look who's here.
It's Wally. We're so excited he came in unannounced.
Good to see you again, Wally.
Who is he? What was he in?
It's good to see you too, Sheriff Truman.
Best believe you can go outside. That's what you gotta know.
Truman is my godfather. Well, the full story actually is that I met David Lynch, I don't know, a year
and
or
thinking
two
you wouldn't go outside from doing some junk like that is really crazy for real.
Course, where you go to the center, they teach you how to do it, they give you your mantra. You go for like an hour over 4 days. They just kind of make sure you've got a handle on it. And
I'm working.
The fourth day when I was leaving, I was with a few friends of mine. This woman just appeared, and she was a young woman. She said, "My name is Pookie. I work with David Lynch. Would you guys like to meditate with David?" And we were like, "What? What do you mean?" Just unbelievable invitation, and came out of outer space, and we were like, that's insane. Like, can't even say how profoundly important he is to me. I got there first. I was the first one there. I went up and met David alone for like 5 minutes. And he was just so sweet. I was like, what is this going to be like? I'm coming to his home. Is he going to be annoyed? Is he just
himself?
Kind of eye-rollingly allotting this time to us because someone convinced him to?
Yes, believe
what is the situation? But he was
that's what you
so welcoming, so warm, so happy that we were there. It was the four of us, and we sat in his like art studio at the back of his house and meditated with him. And talked for a while. A friend of mine who was there, Jocelyn, was about to make her first film.
Hernandez?
Questions for him. Like,
I'm really acting ass right now.
On directing, and he gave great advice, very practical advice.
I can just go
like Terry Blade. And I was like grateful to ever have met him. And then a few years later, got this invitation to come work with him on this show for 1 day. I think I was on that set for like
understanding
2 hours
when I say you can just go outside.
And that was just like the greatest experience.
I've crisscrossed this great land of ours countless times. I hold the map of it here in my heart, next to the joyful memories of the carefree days I spent as a young boy.
That was just
believing when I say you need to go outside.
Written. It was a monologue. They said in the script, I think, how I was dressed and that I speak like Marlon Brando. That was basically all that was provided to me. And so I prepared myself and wanted to show up completely prepared, but open to whatever he would want to adjust or do or whatever. But we hardly talked about it on set. Like we did it a couple times.
I don't know this one.
He came over. I think mostly he gave me notes on
Twin Peaks. I don't know this
situations in the monologue. Like, really hit that comma or whatever, you know, small things like that.
And I am looking at Get 'Em to the Greek, so
the rhythm of it, and but just
had
just
every
like very
raunchy
supportive.
movie character
and we did it
in
just a few
it,
times, and it was done. And I really wish I could have spent much more time working with him, because it's really a joy.
The adults.
The adults.
And this
it is sort of a very mysterious character.
There's some Apple TV
because a lot is withheld. The ambiguity actually is sort of the driving force of the story. Is actually the ambiguity that's happening between the characters. This distance, this gulf that's happening between them. But that was,
and they let them grow it out a little bit too.
The script actually is
he'll never do the films with the beard and the mustache
of their history that we don't know, and the little pieces that we do see are what we have to draw our conclusions from.
The beard and the mustache and the goatee.
I think it's good.
You can just go outside.
Yeah, I have a ham. I don't have the nuts or anything.
I think you wouldn't go outside.
I played poker, you know, before doing the movie. I used to play in a home game, a weekly home game at my friend's house, which the game still stands, but I don't live in Los Angeles anymore, but they still play. I used to love playing just for the social aspect of it, just to be there, you know, joke around, and I would kind of just throw my money away and lose. I would lose, you know, and then there are some people that were playing at a different level that seemed to have like an understanding of the game and the fundamentals of it. And so I knew that they were playing on a different level than me, but I was never really too curious to go deeper with it until I got cast in Molly's game, and then I thought, maybe I should read a poker book, and see what they know that I don't know. There's something going on that I don't know, but maybe I should just get interested in it. And then once I did, I found it like so bottomlessly fascinating. I really love poker to this day.
I don't get blocked because you just go outside.
I have kind of seasons where I'm good at it, and then other times where I'm just terrible. Just can't get a handle on it, but it's fun.
Okay. Smooth at yeah, you go outside. Smooth at Michael Cera video, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment if you new. If you not new, do anyways, hit that bell or you're going to you know where. Stay tuned because we have a lot more to expose. Stay tuned for more. We have a lot more to put up and post. Skydiving at 1 million, Twitch stream at 500K, story times at 100K. I do not know what else need to be said, man. Stay tuned for more, man. One game.